Now today's a pretty exciting day, I'm not gonna lie. I picked the absolute worst time of the year to plant a tree. It's been 99 degrees outside, I got hard compact clay, but I'm really excited to get this done because I've got a few surprises in store on what I'm gonna be doing and making changes to my yard. Now these are called espalier trees. Now the nice thing about these trees is they're gonna fit really, really well against my fence line. Now I got a wonderful deal on these trees. For the two trees I spent $89. They're normally about $200 each. They're in rough shape. Originally they had some leaf blight, and a lot of you guys out there be like, oh, that's a lot of herbicide damage here. But it's not. It just got really hot. I didn't water it very well at all. But the nice thing is we're going to talk about mixtures to bounce trees back, and I think you're going to be shocked at how well these trees end up bouncing back. Let's not waste any more time. We want to get the trees in the ground and fast. I got a visitor coming in the next couple of hours, so I want to make sure we have a sufficient amount of space for these trees and that we get them in. Now this is going to hurt my feel goods a little bit, putting the trees in the ground. I got to find a nice spot along this fence line. Now I've got 3 trees and I've got more than about 80 feet, and I'm going to space the trees about 6 to 8 feet apart. Now the reason why I'm going to do that is just to make sure they have enough room to kind of branch outward. Now I'm going to train these trees to follow the fence line. That's going to be the nice part about it. Now I'm going to put them almost 6 to 8 inches off of the fence line, which is kind of shocking, but the whole point of this is to get them to grow along the fence so I don't lose any of my mowing real estate.
Now I was in a real big hurry to put these trees in, a little bit careless nonetheless. Now I try to get these jobs done as quickly as possible, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time measuring things out. Instead, I just use my shovel as my measuring device. Now I typically measure the width of the diameter of the tree, and then I like to go about 12 inches on each side out. Now the reason why I want to do that is it softens the soil and allows for proper root depth and growth laterally. Now if you don't soften up the soil and you just kind of shove it in the same exact hole that it is, it's kind of like you shoving your foot into a shoe that's not quite the right size. So giving it that extra space really helps it take root. Now one of the best things that you can do, and I really wish I had it on camera a little bit better, is if you shove the hose around the perimeter edge of the root ball. This helps get rid of all the extra airspace and helps the dirt kind of settle in. Now, if you don't get the dirt packed properly, you run the risk of having some root shock from having air gaps, which is not what we want to do.
So all in all, the project's going really well. I'm in this thing about an hour, including camera time for you guys at home. Not a big deal. I hit a few bumps in the road, but you guys are gonna hit those bumps too. You have to be really careful when you're digging. Like you saw over here, I hit the sprinkler line that was going through it. Now, luckily, I don't really have to worry about it breaking. What I am gonna have to worry about is moving it later and getting in the right spot. So right now, I jerry-rigged it with some rocks. I put it under the ground as far as I can so I can continually water.
Now, a lot of you guys probably wondering why my backyard looks like garbage. Well, I've been waiting for this curbing and edge company to get to my lawn for the last month and a half, 2 months, and they're finally here, and I couldn't be more excited. They dove right in, and they wanted it to match, so they already took out the existing curbing. They mapped it out along the perimeter of what I wanted, and they got started.
Tell us who you are, what you do,
hi.
how long you've been doing it.
Wow, we're on, yeah.
Oh yeah, we're live.
I've been doing it since 1992, so a few years, 28 or 29 years. Looks like it too, huh? Old.
So funniest part about it is I just kept asking for the guy that does the best job, and you came up
Yeah.
a number of times.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
28, 29 years.
You're like a magician, how fast this is. I'm actually pretty amazed, but walk us through the process. How does this work?
Well, we just cut out the sod, we prep everything, you know, like we just did. We make a little trench for it, and then we lay the curbing down inside of it. Can't be too wet, can't be too dry, it's just got to be perfect, you know.
Yeah, you got to know your cement,
you know,
for sure.
Cement, and then Zach over here, he makes me look good, you know, he'll trowel it. And,
Zach's doing an amazing job.
Move it up here, let's see Zach.
He's the operator.
Very good. There he is. Zach's my boy. He's been doing it for, well, since he's 14.
Oh yeah, father-son thing?
14 years old, yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys are doing awesome.
He'll trowel it like that and get it looking nice, and then we put expansion joints every 3 feet. That helps to control the movement, because it's going to expand here in Utah. Cold moisture and stuff coming in.
Yeah, that is a good point. Man, I don't know about these guys, but I am extremely excited to get this done. I'm gonna be able to mow nice and smooth along the perimeter edge, and I haven't been able to do that before, and it's been really annoying to have to get the weed whacker out here.
And putting in a border edge just solves a lot of those problems mowing. I ended up hiring Accent Curb and Edge for a couple of reasons. Normally, I'm a DIY extraordinaire. I want to do it myself, but you'll notice this process is pretty thorough. Overall, I have about 185 linear feet that these guys are gonna be going through. Now you can see this is not a 1 or 2 man job to make it easy. In order to be efficient, this is a 4-man job. You have one guy on the concrete mixer. You have another guy who is wheelbarrowing concrete back and forth the entire time. Another guy that is on the machine that lays the forms. And then you have another guy that is wetting the concrete as you go and smoothing out the concrete. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this was extremely satisfying to watch the process and to be a part of. But it just reaffirmed to me that it was the right choice to hire professionals who do this day in and day out to do this job. Now, I communicated really well with Accent Curbing. I kind of let them know what my expectations were, which, since I have been mowing down to 1 inch, I wanted the curbing to sit flat with my lawn. Because of this, it added a few extra costs because they had to use their sod cutter and go a little bit deeper than they normally would, and they had to trench and remove a little bit more excess soil than they commonly would as well. They did have several different shapes, sizes, and options for the curbing, but I wanted something that was going to match what I have. And I'll tell you what, the biggest benefit to having a flat curbing like this is I can get the mower right on top of it, and I can also use my border edger right on the side of it, which eliminates the need for a weed whacker. And now I'll go to using a border edger, which makes it a lot easier on me every time that I mow, and it also gives me a nice crisp line along the border. A lot of the things I was considering was cost was my number one issue. I was going to be $60 in renting the sod cutter, $100 in renting the cement mixer. I was going to be $200 in cement, and an extra $100 for the day to find and rent this border edger machine. Now, just calculating all the hard costs up, that's $460. That puts us at almost $2.48 per linear foot. Now, to be upfront, I didn't ask for any special Ginja favors. I just wanted to support my locally owned and operated companies. His bid came right in about $4.75 per linear foot, which is a little high. However, considering all the extras that I added in, it was a decent rate. So my choices were pay $460 and spend a long time trying to learn this craft, or I could spend double, right under $1,000, and have the professionals do it. Even after taxes, it was a win-win situation.
These guys are both gentlemen and scholars. They're completely helping me level around the manhole here. And, well, it's not a manhole, it's a water hole? Water meter. I knew I was gonna get there at one point.
Now, I'm really happy to be tackling this problem along this fence line, and this is kind of hard to describe, so bear with. But the fence line out about 4 feet has an elevation drop of almost 4 to 6 inches. It also has elevation variation between 2 and 4 inches going parallel along the fence line. Now, I would much rather deal with leveling this area out later than dropping the border edge to match the current level, because I get a lot of pooling water because of the elevation change in those areas. Now I'll get into my strategies for leveling this area in videos to come. Now, the lesson I learned is my patience and persistence with going with the best guy paid off. It's not often that you're going to find somebody that's going to take the time to make sure that everything is level. Now, these guys were true professionals. Not only was it level by the end of it, but they took extra care tying it into the existing border edge to make it look seamless and make it appear like it was that way the entire time. Now, ultimately, was it worth paying the extra $460? I'll say it time and time again, it was most definitely worth it. I don't do this for a profession. It was a one-time service, so to learn the skill doesn't make sense.
Oh, I got lucky. It only took them a month and a half to get here.
Yeah.
But it is amazing. It was worth the wait.
Great. Glad you love it.
Yeah, man.
Enjoy it. Yeah.
No, I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
We are too.
Well, this concludes part 1 of my border edge experience where we installed trees and the border edge. Stay tuned when we talk about the unexpected hidden costs behind putting a border edge after you've already installed your lawn. Now, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, hit me up in the comments below. You know I'd love to help you guys out. Till the next time, guys, the Pest and Lawn Ginja. We're slaying lawn.